What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. We have some absolutely huge breaking news coming in only around 5 hours before the match against Villarreal at the Olympic Stadium in Montjuic, and that is on the future for the rest of the season in terms of injury for Alejandro Balde. The club this morning have confirmed that tests carried out on Alejandro Balde and that he has a tendon injury in his right hamstring. In the coming days, he will undergo surgery in Finland, and after the surgery is completed, a new medical report will be published. I'll give you guys the timeline on what happened with Alejandro Balde over the past 48 hours because it's been quite intense. So following the match against Bilbao in the Cup, of course, he went down with an injury. Everyone suspected your typical hamstring injury where he pulled up 4 to 6 weeks out, standard. When they did more tests when they returned to Barcelona, they realized there was a tendon injury as well, which means you do have two options. Number one, you go with the conservative treatment, so you take it naturally. Probably back in a month or two, you can still probably play the last month and a half or so of the season. Secondly, do the surgery, no risk whatsoever, you'll be out for the season. With the conservative treatment, there is a decent risk of a relapse. So following that decision presented to Alejandro Balde, he then put it into the hands of his agent Jorge Mendes to make that decision, whether he takes the conservative treatment, come back, still play maybe at the end of the season. Of course, keep in mind, there is the Euros this summer, and I believe Balde even qualifies for the Olympics as well for Spain if he is selected, or go with the conservative treatment. You're out for the season, out for the summer tournaments as well, but you should be back fully fit, ready to go for preseason in July. Of course, Jorge Mendes does have a bit of experience because he had to deal with this with Ansu Fati as well. Not this injury per se, but a similar situation, and in the end they have opted for the surgery. It is a big blow for Barcelona's season. Honestly, it's not as bad as the Gabi injury was, because Gabi's the ACL. Players who come back from that is, it's a tough road. It's, changes your whole entire body, things of that nature. This is a serious injury, but not to that extent. Now, Balde this season hasn't been the greatest. I think there's been a massive drop off from hashtag 28 Balde, number 28 last season, to number 3 this season. But it is a massive blow. I think over the past few weeks, he has been improving, especially from the first few months that he was playing. He was playing so bad to the point that Xavi had to put Koundé at right back and Cancelo at left back. He was playing that poorly. But with Cancelo's injury, he's kind of had to play Balde. I think he's played all right in the past month. Not, of course, his best, but I think he's done a job, especially in defensive transition. I think, again, his crossing just needs that bit of improvement. But this is going to be a big blow for Barcelona, because now for our aspirations for this season to try and salvage some silverware, we're now down our natural and starting left back. Yes, you can put Cancelo there. You can put Hector Fort there. The club now cannot wait for Marcos Alonso to come back. Of course, you could, if you really need to, desperately, you can put Sergio Roberto there. The club could, the Xavi might go to a back 3 now. It is a big blow in that sense, but I think for the players, hopefully this will give him, a chance to come back stronger and better, kind of recoup after his rough season, I would say. Probably if you want to give Balde a rating for his season, I would say it would have been in, 5.5, 6 out of 10, maybe recoup from that, take the pressure off a little bit that he has been suffering from this season. I think he's been dropped for the first time in his first team Barcelona career. Take that, recover, recuperate, come back stronger next season. I think in that sense, it is what it is. I think, honestly, the surgery was probably the best decision. If you do the conservative treatment, what have you, you do the conservative treatment. We saw with Ansu Fati as well. You recover 2 months, you come back for 1 game, relapse, you're out for another 2 months, and in the end, you have to do the surgery anyway. So might as well just cut no risk whatsoever. I don't think the club recommended anything. I think they let Alejandro Balde, his entourage, his family make that choice. They were probably fine with either. I'm pretty sure the medical staff gave their recommendation, which has not been leaked in the media. I assume they probably said to go with the surgery, because that is the best option with least risk. Again, if we're at this point in the season where we're probably not going to win any silverware, we're going to need a miracle in that sense. Season's pretty much dead. Our only fight this season is to try and finish top 2 in the league to try and qualify for the Super Cup next year. That's all we've got at this point. So do we really need Alejandro? Well, it would be nice to have Alejandro Balde, but we're really going to risk, his career for that? Probably not. Let's be honest. But with Alejandro, again, the injury from beforehand, when the reports came out 4 to 6 weeks, those were the initial thoughts, since all they knew that he suffered a hamstring injury. And even on the live watch along when I was watching the game, I'm saying, yeah, that's him out for 4 to 6 weeks as well. Before the reports came out saying a month, month and a half, because that's a typical time it takes for your hamstring to recover. He's still young, so hopefully there won't be any relapses. Maybe he can recover a bit early. Of course, at this point, he could maybe come back around June, but he will not be called up for Spain. He would have been out for around 3 months at that point. But his 2023-2024 season does conclude here for Alejandro Balde, and again, hopefully does come back stronger and better for next season. And yet again, Barcelona suffering key injuries is now Gavi and Balde, who we'll not see again this season, should I say. We're still waiting on Inigo Martinez to return, Joao Cancelo on the pitch to return, Ter Stegen, Rafinha. Barcelona have always been very, very unlucky with injuries, especially in recent time. But these are anomalies in football. This comes with part of the game. Yes, you can prevent injuries and relapses, but you cannot prevent situations like this. When Alejandro Balde is running down the left-hand side at this MMS and he pulls up, it is what it is. Just the problem was that there's actually more of a tendon injury. That's probably why Balde was limping when he came up, and he was, crying. He looked a bit distraught. Usually when players pull up, they kind of just, signal for the substitution. They kind of walk off slowly. They kind of know. But you can see Balde was a bit more emotional. He was a bit more, upset when he was lying down at this MMS as well. So maybe that was because of the actual tendon injury as well. So we wish, of course, a speedy recovery for Alejandro. He's going to be on the sidelines now for the rest of the season, and we'll wait and see what Xavi's plan is for the left back position. Of course, in the last press conference for the Villarreal game, Xavi was saying that we don't know what Alejandro Balde's decision is yet, and of course we support whatever decision he makes. So probably after the Villarreal game later today, he'll probably be asked about the Balde, what's his plan for left back. Will we see Hector Fort and Joao Cancelo? When Marcos Alonso comes back, are we actually going to see him at left back? It's going to be a lot of, big questions. Of course, there is still a few days left in the window. Will Barcelona go out there and sign a fullback? I highly doubt it. I'd rather honestly still sign a midfielder over a fullback. I think we're not well covered at fullback, but we can survive at fullback for the rest of the season, I'd say. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But with Alejandro, again, wish him a speedy recovery, and he will be out for the remainder of this season, and hopefully he'll be fully fit, ready to go come preseason. So leave me your thoughts down in the comments below on the injury worries at Barcelona, on Alejandro Balde's situation himself. How do you rate his season? And also on his option to take the surgery. Do you agree with that? Or do you think he should go on with the conservative treatment? Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.